Okay, Sophie Fischer's here from the Salt Lake Love Bee, the League One status. Thank you so much for joining us for our golf tournament.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for your extra time. I mean,
Yeah.
they called you and said, would you come? And you've been an amazing ambassador.
Thanks.
Callista was just like all eyes last night, as big as, silver dollars. And she took all of that in. And I know it's going to have a profound impact and a profound effect on the girls that were there last night.
Yeah.
And that was the point of the dinner, was also to say thank you, come see our team, right? Because of the proximity to Athens. And so I just want to say thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Last night was awesome.
I love it. I love also just like catching up with like younger girls who obviously I was in their position one day and they didn't have like, I didn't have professional athletes to go get dinner with or like talk to or even like hear what their lives are like. So it's really cool for me to be able to tell girls that too. So
well, let's talk about your profile for a second. You were kind of born out of chaos. I mean, it had been a traumatic time for your mom and dad. September 12th, 2001.
Yeah.
I mean, what did they talk about the day after 9/11? That is a black swan moment, as Funstrat calls it, for the United States. Like this, looking back at you being born, like what kind of stories do you hear them tell?
Yeah, I mean, I know that my mom was in labor and like my dad was in the room and like contractions are happening and they're watching like on TV like the towers being
Chaos unfolding.
Yeah, and so I know it was just a really scary time for both of them and just like I remember my mom telling me that like bringing a child into the world at that moment, like, and seeing like the horrific thing that's happening in the world. I know that she was like just feeling like so scared and like same with my dad, feeling so scared about like bringing a kid into the world when like this is what the world looks like. But then they always say that like I'm a light that was born after like a horrific event, which is really nice of them. But yeah, I just know it was super scary and just a time to, kind of be thankful for like what you have and not really take things for granted and all the things. So
my buddy Andrew, a partner with the podcast, he just had a baby. Where are we at, buddy? Like 40 days?
5 weeks today.
5 weeks today.
Oh my goodness,
it's
so
exciting.
tiny.
And we've been talking about like the evolution as an adult, like the maturation process after you give birth to a child. For me, it completed my understanding of unconditional love.
Yeah.
And you're like, do you have unconditional love for your wife? If anybody ever asks you that question, please say yes, by the way, gentlemen.
Everyone.
But when you have a child and you brought something into the world that you are 1,000% in charge of like their existence and their ability to stay alive every minute of the day, then you understand unconditional love. Because if the bus was coming, are you throwing yourself in front of the bus? It's like, I don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm sacrificing everything. And so I can see where your parents were, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you have to be the light from the darkness.
I know. And I think it's kind of funny because I even like, not that I 100% like, am like what they said, like the day I was born is why the way I am, I guess. But like, there's so many traits I like notice about myself where I'm like, I'm not really a super shy person. Like I love everyone. Like I'm a very like loving person and like forgiving person. And I think it's just interesting that correlates to, I mean, it's probably a lot with like how I was raised. I have great parents and grew up with, all that stuff. But I think it's kind of funny, not funny, but that I was born the day after a horrific event. And then I've just kind of like never wavered in the way of like how I treat others or how I look at certain like situations and stuff. So it's just kind of like interesting how that works.
Well, so there's a guidebook for, the birth order for how you treat your kids.
Yeah.
And you can't, it's 1,000% on, like you can't get away from that. You can't take it out. You can't just, okay, I'm going to pretend like I'm going to treat my second child like they were the firstborn. You can't do it. But in the same way, your parents could never be like, we're going to pretend 9/11 didn't happen and we're going to raise her as if that event, they can't do that.
No.
And so you're a byproduct of that impact, that event's impact on their lives. And you're the result, and we're all thankful for it.
Yeah, I'm thankful for it. I'm here having a good time. But
so we spent some time this morning talking about the fact Nancy was here. We're having coffee, sitting outside. You committed to UNC.
Yeah.
Early,
really young,
girl.
Really young. I mean, that was obviously way before like the rules changed and stuff. But I remember my parents telling me like, Sophie, you're in 8th grade. Like, do you even know your favorite color? It's going to change.
Did you hear that 8th grade?
It's going to change. I mean, it was like summer of 8th grade going into freshman year, but still like I don't even remember one event from that time of my life. And so my parents kept telling me like, Sophie no. And I was like, you know, a hard-headed kid. And I was like, I know what I want. And so I committed and then stayed committed until October of my senior year, where I was already like in the like on the track to graduate early and go to UNC early. So I had nothing set up for my, I guess, spring semester of my senior year of high school. And so I went on my official visit, just realized that like it's not the place where I want to be. I also changed so much like as a person, but also as a player. And I've realized that like maybe I want to strive for something higher. And so I'm on my official visit and I'm just like, Mom, come pick me up. Like, I can't do this. And we had a big talk. And like my mom was honestly kind of glad that I came to the realization, but it was just so late that I was so nervous that nobody was going to pick me up. And like I wasn't going to play like professional, like not professional, but like Division I volleyball, like I've been signed up for the past 4 years. And so I decommit and then I have to start the whole recruiting process again as a senior in high school in October when I'm graduating in December and going to college. So, end of October, November, mid-December, I'm going on visits like every other week, basically. I'm never in school. But then I visited like Penn State, Nebraska, Kentucky, and I ended up choosing Kentucky. So
Did all of them give you offers?
yeah.
Okay, so they got over it. Okay. It's a little late, but it's okay. We got a spot.
Yeah. I mean, it was so chaotic though. And like my poor high school coach too, I would just come in and it's not that it was at the time, looking back at it now, I should have been like, wow, that was so much fun. I got to go visit all these places and stuff, but it was so stressful because like I would come in and practice crying all the time and have like a little sassy too, just because I was so tired of like all the traveling and I was stressed. And my high school coach handled it really well. If it wasn't for her and like my parents, I don't know what I would have done. But yeah, I ended up going to Kentucky and, you know, that worked out.
So 2020, 2021 NCAA title team.
Yeah, that was, there's no really word to describe it, like winning a national championship. It's probably one of the most incredible like feelings that you'll ever have as like an athlete, especially in the college world, because that's everyone's goal once you play college volleyball is to win a national title. So I didn't play much that year at all, but it still like is a huge life event for me. And like
Absolutely.
I got to do it with some of my best friends and yeah, it's something I'll never forget. So.
And so shortly, was that freshman year?
Yeah, that was my freshman year. It was like the spring of COVID because we didn't play in the fall because of COVID.
Okay.
So I graduated early and then there was no fall games still. Or wait, I might be wrong actually. I know the national championship was in April. I know that. So it wasn't in the fall. It was like the weird schedule that happened because of COVID. So yeah, but freshman year.
So 2 years at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't imagine switching colleges. I mean, because for you, it was an academic and an athletic decision, right? That's one of those massive things. Like to me, it would have been equal to the decommitting process, having to like get all your ducks in a row, go into the portal, and have to change. What causes you to start, think about like maybe my future is somewhere else?
Yeah, I just knew that I had these really big goals for myself and I just felt like I wasn't going to get them done at where I was. And so I kind of needed to find a coach who was a little bit more like kind of what I was looking for, I guess, where I just want very black and white. I don't want any like fluff in between. Just tell me how it is and we'll call it a day there. And so I think my second time going around, I knew more what I wanted. And that made it a lot easier because like I would talk to one coach and I was like, not really what I'm looking for, like great person, but not really what I'm looking for. And then once I saw Georgia, whenever I was coming in, we weren't like top half of the SEC and like getting all these like national championships and, winning the SEC and stuff. But I knew that Tom Black could take me where I wanted to go. And I kind of just put all my trust in him and I was like, okay, let's do it. And when I got there, I obviously switched to being a middle too. So I was like, this is going to be, I was outside and right side at Kentucky.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I also changed positions when I transferred, which was also crazy. But Tom also like gave me the opportunity to do something that like most middles don't do. And I think that got me to where I am now, where like I'd hit out of system in the middle. I'd play back row. I'd hit Bix. I'd hit out of the back row as like a middle. And you don't do that.
You don't do that.
Yeah. So he really like taught me how to do all these things and allowed me to kind of be like an out of the box middle. And literally think that's why I am where I am today, is because he allowed me to be different and like kind of knew what to do with me, where I'm kind of versatile. I've played so many positions, but he kind of put me in one and then let me kind of he built on. Yeah, morph into what he wanted. So
Well, let's credit Tom. ChatGPT thinks that you've been credited for really expanding the perspective that people should have, the perception of the middle. I mean, if you're in the back row, you're DS. You know what I mean? Like you're receiving, kills and serves, and you know what I mean. You're having to get the ball to a setter, and also, but then score at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I never served receive. He wouldn't have trusted me that much to go do all that.
Oh, come on!
I know. I was never in serve receive, like actually ever passing, but I would be like hidden in serve receive, and then pass
Well, then they
set,
put 4 in the back and 2 in the front.
Yeah. And so then I'd come out of the middle, and those were like the prime highlights of like probably my college career at Georgia. Is like whenever even my setter Claire Brower, she was great too. Whenever he told us like we're running the Bix and we're gonna hit out of the back row, her and I took that and like we ran with it all the way. And I mean, just having teammates like that too who are gonna support you and they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get this down, like this is gonna work. It's so much fun. But having a coach like allowing you to be creative, and we came up with so many, like we would do like front slides, but like it would be a tweak to them where we'd call them like Fs, and I don't know, we came up with so many things, and Tom was just like, if it works, it works. If it's going to allow us to win, it's going to work. So
roll with it.
Yeah. And it was really cool to have that experience where like I'm trying to get that again, but it's just, he let me just be like kind of one of a kind. So it was awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about how does one become the 2023 SEC Player of the Year?
I mean,
is it something you strive for, or do you just go and kick butt and they're like, hey, Sophie, you got it?
I am going to be so honest. That season was like obviously a really good season for me, but I don't remember many of the games. I was just so locked in, and I don't know. It was like a different breed that came out of me that year, where like obviously part of it was Tom allowing me to be creative and kind of morph into like literally whatever. But our team too was just rolling. And whenever the season ended and Tom was like, hey, can I give you a call? And I was like, sure, what's up? And then he tells me I'm the SEC Player of the Year. I was like, what? Like, what?
I'd have been like goosebumps.
Yeah, like I literally started crying, and I was like, I've had like other awards told to me before, but like I was like, no way. Like a middle, and I know I had a good season. Like I did a lot of good things, but I just that was never in the back of my head, like, oh, this game I need to do good because I'm striving to be SEC Player of the Year, or like, it was never like beginning of the season, I'm like, I want to be SEC Player of the Year. It was just like, I want to go compete and I want to get better every day and I want to win, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to do all those. So
I love that.
I know it was crazy though. And I literally I know how it happened. Like obviously I worked hard, but at the same time, it was just like a different form of Sophie that came out that year. So yeah, but it was crazy.
Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tell me about the process of going from NCAA volleyball to do you get drafted? Like, how do you wind up in Salt Lake?
Yeah. So basically there's like a bunch of different routes, I guess people can do it. But once my season ended and stuff, I was talking with like one of the recruiters, I guess. And I guess the recruiters can kind of talk to you just like about what the league's about, or they can talk to you about how they want you in the league and like just kind of informing you about it. And then you literally can't do anything until you're done with college. So like nobody ever was like, hey, we're going to like, you're playing for Salt Lake or anything. I had no clue. I just knew that like I was in communication with people in League One. But there was nothing like, you're going to play here one day. Like they were very, very good at like the rules and everything. Cause I also am big on the rules. Like I would never want to jeopardize like my last season
eligibility or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just kind of in contact, and then end of season happens and I get an agent, and they're talking to the League One people, and then League One sends an offer, and the agent goes through the contract and kind of runs through it with you, and then you sign the dotted line. So
I want an agent. Andrew, I want an agent. We need to get an agent.
I had an agent for a little while. It was nice.
I know. I really like having an agent because I mean, obviously, but my agent's also really good. I trust him with my life.
You have to.
Yeah.
They're a fiduciary for your professional success and the terms of the contract and
all those legal terms. I don't want to read it all. So
we're gonna have to start to wrap up so we can get to the tournament.
Yeah.
Tell me in your words, what's volleyball done for you And then what is going to be your lasting impact after you're done playing? Like, what are you going to get back to volleyball?
Yeah. I mean, it's really just like changed my life. I never thought that I mean, it's always been like a dream of mine. So I never really thought I'd be in this position or like be able to take care of other people in my life. And so it's really just changed my life. It's my main source of joy and giving back to people. I mean, I would love to create my own club one day. I want to keep coaching after college.
Nice.
No matter what age group. I just like think volleyball is it's impacted my life so much. So I would want to have the same experience given to other girls who are younger than me. So maybe one day, whenever I am done, I'll start my own club somewhere and get the ball rolling with that. So
That's so awesome.
yeah.
I think one more question I didn't want to leave out.
Okay.
What kind of opportunities or experiences has League One provided you as a professional athlete?
Oh my gosh. I just think so many networking opportunities. I've met just so many people and like big or small impact on me. Like I think just getting to know different people and all that has been really incredible. But then even like these other athletes that I've looked up to my whole life and like playing with Haley Washington, who like is a middle that
Legend.
yeah, a legend. And same with like Jordan Poulter, like they're my teammates and it's just like super crazy, but it's just a great opportunity that like League One has. And even like Jordan Larson, like she's across the net and it's just like, I don't know, it's really crazy, but it's just a great, I don't know, I just love what they've done with the entire league. So.
And they're over there going, oh my God, it's Sophie Fischer.
I know, they're like, oh my God, this annoying 23-year-old.
Oh.
Like I'm just like the child in the league. So even though I'm literally an adult, so, but
Very cool. Thank you
Yeah.
for your time
Of course.
today.
Thanks for
This
having
was
me.
awesome. And we're going to do it
Yeah.
again next year. And anything that we can do to help you in your journey, let us know.
yeah,
All right?
thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Sophie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course.